Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Siriana Tarot. This is going to be a singles new love reading for Cancer. We're going to look at the kind of love you're ready to experience now based on the growth you've already done. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Cancers, please. All right, so your person is showing up as the Two of Pentacles, not the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, all right, and also the Ten of Wands. They're viewing you as the Page of Swords, all right, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. And the connection, we see the Judgment card, Aries, Scorpio energy. Now your person is showing up as the Eight of Cups as well, which for me, Cancer, is a really strong indication here that you have someone who's going through some sort of transition or some sort of transformation when you meet them. Now this could be a move, this could be moving away from a person or a situation such as work or a family situation, a work situation. But I love the Two of Wands because, you know, oftentimes I do read this as a twin flame card. But in this card in particular, this is someone who I feel like you may meet like at work or at school or in the community. But this is somebody who's just easy to be with, somebody who's relaxed, someone who you have a lot in common with. You know, I can see you two being very comfortable with one another, you know, constantly communicating, laughing, sharing inside jokes and things like that. But I do think when you meet this person, they may be a little bit overwhelmed or they just have a lot going on with whatever this transformation or this transition is that they're experiencing. All right, now we see the King of Pentacles in reverse, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. So for some of you, they might be like in between jobs or changing jobs. They may also, if they're leaving a connection, you know, the King of Pentacles in reverse can tell me that this person is maybe feeling a little bit unstable financially, or they've taken some sort of, you know, financial hit. It can also be that maybe they're not feeling like the best version of themselves physically. Okay, so they might be healing from something, which could be accident, illness, or injury, or they might just be a little bit insecure about the way they look right now if they haven't had time to really invest in, you know, going to the gym or working out or eating properly, you know, which is often the case when we're going through something pretty major. All right, and we see the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, it does look like your person is changing something, making some sort of major life change, changing up the status quo. This may be something they've been planning for quite some time, because I do see that this is somebody who's going to be patient and strategic. You know, this is not somebody that wants to rush into things. You know, this is someone who's going to want to balance the budget, you know, before they buy that vacation, you know, package, or, you know, they want to get back on their feet after this move before they, you know, make any big purchases. So I do see that this is somebody who's really considerate of like their savings, of their finances, of their stability. And how my Cancers are going to be feeling the Ten of Swords in reverse. So I feel like you're absolutely ready for something new after a period of healing or after going through something difficult. You know, a lot of my Cancers, you have a new lease on life when you meet this person. Now, they're viewing you as the Page of Swords, which does indicate to me, Cancer, that this person, you know, they may be somebody who starts off as a secret admirer, or they spend some time checking you out before they make their move, and maybe even talking to you. I mean, it could be something that starts off as a friendship and leads to something more. Now, we do have short term coming through. Now, this may be true for some of my Cancers, where, you know, this may be a connection. Maybe you meet this person, you know, right before they're about to move away from you or leave your job or something like that. But it's not going to be true for all of you, okay? They could be another Cancer or have strong Cancer placements, or they just embody this very sensitive, intuitive, loving, nurturing, creative energy. We see that this person may not have any children, all right? And yeah, I do feel like this could be something that starts off as a friendship and it evolves over time. And again, it does look like they're pretty overwhelmed. They have a lot of responsibilities. So we do see that when you meet them, maybe they're not looking for anything long term, or maybe even they tell you they're not looking for anything long term, you know, because they're not ready, because they're not where they want to be. Now, that doesn't mean for all of you that it won't evolve into something more, but it does feel like, you know, they're pretty overwhelmed or they've got a lot going on, but there's still this, you know, chemistry and this compatibility between the two of you. So we see this energy of overwhelm with the 10 of Wands. We see you would be shocked, so this person might shock and surprise you, or you just might be surprised to know like what they're going through, because I do think, you know, all in all, they kind of keep it together, or, you know, just seeing them or their appearances or, you know, talking to them, you probably wouldn't know that, you know, there's so much going on behind the scenes. It may start off as a brief encounter. All right, and we see African energy. So this person could be African, or there could be some sort of African connection. They could be of African descent. But again, this is not going to be for all of you. It's going to resonate with some of you, but it doesn't mean it's not your reading if it doesn't resonate. All right, so let's see what else we need to know. What else do we need to know here? All right, we see courtship. Yeah, it kind of feels like your person isn't like looking for a relationship, and they may not even be that focused on dating Cancer. Not dating Cancer, but dating at when you meet them. I don't know if they're just like they're going through something, or they feel like they don't have enough time in their schedule. All right, we see house. So for some of you, they are moving. But I do think despite like this, the energy that they're experiencing, they could be they do have stability is what I'm getting. Even if they're not feeling like the best version of themselves, or even if they're switching jobs or something like that. Yeah, and this person's hard at work at something. So I do kind of feel like work and stability is their main focus. So I feel like this may be a connection that kind of takes you by surprise, or takes this person by surprise. The reason I'm not calling it as, oh, this is just going to be a fling, or this is not going to last, is because we have the Judgment card defining the connection. So I kind of feel like there may be a little element of pessimism around this connection because of this transformation, because they're not really interested in anything super serious when you meet them. But there's definitely a friendship, there's chemistry, and I think that it actually does evolve into something, but it may take some time. Now, this person, Cancer, may have an imperfection in their speech. All right, which indicates, you know, maybe they have a small stutter or a slur, or maybe the language you speak with them is not their native language. Okay, they're physically active, so they could have a job that's physically demanding. I can definitely see that with the 10 of Wands. But I also see that this may be somebody here who likes to work out, likes to move. All right, they have a tendency to be forgetful or late. All right, and we see that your paths will cross when a holiday is in season. Now, this is interesting, Cancer, because it could be, you know, it could be a bank holiday or a federal holiday that brings you two together, but it could also be like a party or a celebration, you know, where you two meet. It could even be like at somebody else's wedding, or maybe, you know, at a friend's house, a backyard barbecue for those of you who are entering into the summer, or not entering, who are in the summer months. You know, or I'm kind of getting like, I don't know, a bar or a restaurant that has like an outdoor patio. But again, that doesn't have to be the case. But I do think that maybe some sort of celebration here will bring you two together. All right, so we have the Page of Swords. So this person is definitely checking you out. And I also feel there's a strong intellectual connection here with the Page of Swords. This person finds you to be very interesting. This person sees you as somebody who's intelligent, inquisitive, somebody who always likes to learn. And they may even there's like an innocence to you here. You know, the Page of Swords is somebody who's not afraid to say, you know, I didn't really understand what you said, or I'm not really sure what you're talking about. Tell me about it, right? And they're definitely going to be paying attention to the details, Cancer. The Fool in reverse. For some of you, there could be an age difference here. This Aries energy tells me this person may find you to be very funny. But I'm also seeing with the Fool in reverse, this person might be a little bit worried that you're not looking for something new, or there's no way that you would take a leap of faith and see where this goes because of their personal circumstances, this move or this big life change, or, because they say they're not looking for a relationship or what have you. And the Ace of Wands in reverse. So I think this person might feel, Cancer, like maybe, you don't want to put in the energy to start something new with them because of their circumstances. They might also even feel like you would reject them, which tells me they might feel like you're out of their league. With the King of Swords in reverse, Cancer, I feel like, you might be a little bit confused about this connection. Like, I don't think this is going to be a fuck yeah for you. I think it's going to be one where you are going to be looking at the details, and you're going to be very discerning about whether or not you invest in this or not. Okay, so let's see what they notice about you, what they like about you, is they see you as a healer. So this tells me that they do feel quite calm around you. And they see you as having a passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit, and an ability to help transform pain into healing. So this person is going to feel really good around you. Now, some of you could work in massage or energy work or medicine or the healing arts. But this person just feels calm. They feel good around you, and I think you're going to feel like, like a breath of fresh air, considering whatever they're going through. It's going to be easy to be around you. And mystic energy. So they see you, Cancer, as, as being, as being connected. They like your brand of spirituality. All right. So Judgment card. So Spirit saying, Cancer, it's, use your best judgment here. Listen to what people tell you. It's important that if somebody says, I'm not looking for a relationship, that you don't, pretend they didn't say that or hope that that's going to change. Although what I am seeing here is that may change. So with the Judgment card, I feel like this is going to be definitely a next level type love. I think there's going to be a really strong attraction, strong intellectual connection. The Judgment card tells me the divine brings you two together for a reason. I think this is something you're not going to see coming. All right. And we have through community or social circles. So I was really picking up on that here, that this connection comes through friends, gatherings, or familiar social environments. It grows naturally within shared spaces. All right. And we see reciprocity matters. So this connection thrives when giving and receiving are balanced and mutual effort becomes part of alignment. So again, if despite whatever transition they're experiencing or obstacles that are here, if both of you are willing to put in the work, that's where this up levels, right? But it's going to be different for all of my Cancers. And we see this connection remains anchored in honesty, which again is such a huge breath of fresh air, I think, for both of you. This truth as foundation, this connection remains anchored in honesty, that you're going to be realistic about, your capacity, how much work you can put into this connection. And I think also really how you feel about one another. But I do really get this energy here, Cancer, of feeling like you can really be yourself with this person, and they definitely feel that way about you. And we see an open-ended becoming, so this connection remains alive to what may unfold. Yeah. And I think that's just a strong indication that where this goes is going to be different for each and every one of my Cancers. All right. It's really just, depending on how into this person you are and, how much work you're willing to put into this. All right. So let's go ahead and see. We see best friend. So we do see that, your best friend might be someone who brings you two together. Friendship is vital to your romance. Feelings deepen and blossom. All right. So, and maybe we did see this could start off as a friendship and evolve into something more. Very soon your true love will arrive, Cancer. So we do feel like this is, this message is that you're manifesting this, and this may happen sooner than later. And we see love language, quality time, so be the witness to each other's lives. Oh, beautiful. So again, the love language will be spending time together. But it's also going to be really important. Can you spend time together? Do your schedules line up? Is there distance here? And we see friend zone, so a lack of passion in this companionship. So for some of my Cancers, this could just end up being a friendship where there was a spark. For others of you, I'm just getting like friendship being really important to this connection. And again, when you meet, you might be attracted to one another, but circumstances might cause you to say, well, maybe we should just be friends. But like I said, with the Judgment card, I feel like that friendship definitely evolves into something more. I mean, we get that all over this reading, but also the importance of friends in bringing you two together. So we see try again a little later. So there could be a stop and a start here, Cancer. And we see the month of March. So that's Pisces, Aries energy. I don't think this, my readings really are meant to be, the time frame in the next couple of weeks or months. So I feel like March, maybe you met this person back in March and I'm describing them to a T and things are going to start kicking off for you too soon. Or maybe somebody is born in March. Or there's something that happened in March when you look back and you see, oh, okay, that happened, that helped bring us together. But anyway, Cancer, I'm going to leave it here. Please drop me a comment. Let me know how this resonates with you. Sending you so much love and light. Take care.